All right, well, praises be to the Most High. Thank you for joining us on His holy day. Chauffeur. Dear Father, we give you all the praise and we thank you for everything that you do for us. We pray that what we bring forth be sweet aroma to your nostrils. We love you and appreciate you. The chastisement, the correction, the healing, the deliverance, and the love that you bring forth cannot be equaled by any entity. We honor you, Father, and we appreciate you. Continue to work with us, continue to minister to us. Continue to lead us to the right path of righteousness. Continue, Father, to do whatever your will is in our life, and we will continue to do whatever the will that you have set forth in us. That's right. We glorify your name. In Yeshua's name, Amen. Open the scripture, Ecclesiastes 12, starting at 9. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he having good heed, and sought out and set in many proverbs. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. The words of the wise are as gold, and as nails fastened by the masters of the assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. And further, by these my son be admonished, of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High, keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. That's right. For the Most High will bring every work unto judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. That's Ecclesiastes 12. Now we'll have our credo. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. We say it in both our Hebrew and our English language. Shema Yasharallah Ahaya, Allahaya Nawa Ahaya Akkad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one power. Shema Yasharallah Ahaya, Allahaya Nawa Ahaya Akkad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one power. Shema Yasharallah Ahaya, Allahaya Nawa Ahaya Akkad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one power. And we'll have our praise and worship.
Galatians 6 and 9. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we thank God. All right. Yeah.
I will follow, I will stand until the end. Until the end.
Feels like it's raining on my head, can't catch a blessing. But through my suffering, I just might learn a lesson. Why I feel so hard, but who am I to question? He died for my sins, how can I get the message? Devil's out for me, no doubt, and see, I know he's real. Hands up, I send my way into these holy fields. Cannot be shaken, no matter what story you're facing. We glory in tribulations and tribulation, working patience. As long as I have a congregation to lean on, we come together as a nation and we be strong. Correct me when you see wrong. Be on the road that he leads on. Drag him feet on to tomorrow. Whether it be hurt, shame, or sorrow, wherever he leads, I will follow. Whether it be hurt, shame, or sorrow, wherever he leads, I will follow.
I will follow, I will stand to the end, until the end. I will follow, I will stand to the end, until the end. My little pin, I must keep from dozing, times to get on. The window is closing, distractions aside, I must keep on going. When things get hot, I must keep on going. Can't let the issues of life get controlling. Tunnel my vision to keep me from roaming. Applying the knowledge, the wisdom is showing. Taking account from the actions I'm knowing. Lord, please, when I'm stuck, just show me what to do. Lord, no matter what, I'll make my way to you. I will follow, I will stand to the end, until the end. I will follow, I will stand to the end, until the end.
some things. I need somebody to talk to. God revealed himself to me through my own songwriting. You know, I actually started revealing to me all of my real friends, all of my real people around me. And one by one, he started leading them out. Sometimes I talk to myself, you know what I'm saying? And it's not me talking to myself, it's talking to God. I've been listening for him to talk back to me.
The people talk about you, don't worry, I'll deal with them. I can make your enemies your footstool. Stay focused and listen. Tell me what you want and I'll map it out in your mind. Lean not on your own understanding, and I'll never leave you behind. Hey, you ain't gotta worry, I'm the best friend you ever had. I got so much to give, so I don't mind getting relaxed. I'm so real, I'll give you the game. And every powerful mouth that the mind can contain. I'm the best friend that you ever had. I will never let you down, I'm the best friend you ever had. I go real parent to his kids, I always got you back. If you cross me, you really hurt yourself. And you realize there is nobody else. I'm the best friend that you ever had. I can build you up and never tear you down. And I said word of encouragement when people are hating around. All around you say, if I close the door, I'll always open a better one. Lean not on your own understanding, because the battle is already won. So I don't mind getting I'm so real, I'm getting the game. I will never let you down, I'm the best friend you ever had. I'm the only real friend you ever had. Those kids I always got your back. If you cross me, you really hurt yourself. Realize there is nobody else. I'm the best friend that you ever had. Let's be friends.
I get the best wisdom.
Let's be friends.
When I leave this
Let's be friends.
all I want to do is be my friend.
Let's be friends. You ain't gotta want to be friends.
Talk to
All
myself.
you gotta do is be friends.
I'm weird.
Yeah, let's
Talk to
friends.
Get the thing from me.
It's my real. Said you ain't gotta worry, I'm the best friend you ever had.
You'll never catch me in a minute, oh man.
I got so much to give, so I don't
But I always let you down.
I'm so real, I'm getting the game.
I'm the best friend that I am.
Ever had, you ever had.
Long for your name, let's say that you down. I never had.
My girlfriend married to his kids, I always got you back.
Got my back.
If you cross me, you really hurt yourself. Let's be friends.
The only real friend I have
Let's
is
be
you.
friends. Just gonna talk. He said, let's be friends.
You should trust.
Let's be friends. Just gonna talk to me. Let's be friends.
You'll be the best friend
Let's
I've
be
ever had.
friends. Just gonna talk to me.
You die in your Savior's name.
suffocating. Watching the world curl as it's prophetically changing. Trumpet after trumpet, we taking heed to it. In the world of smoke and mirrors, you allow us to see through it. Seems like they lack a conscience. Empathy is null and void. Serving different guys. Well, the higher you, the real McCoy. Have a taste of the devil, so can't let us steal my joy. No one play with my mind like it's his little toy. I pray you fill me all the way up. We're living water. I pour over to my wife, son, and my daughter. I follow your precepts, now I got my house in order. My body is your temple. Please dwell in these living waters. I pray to you, please save my soul and seal my mind. Cause this work so cold and keep me near so I can't see clear. Only you I hear, cause only you I fear. I pray to you, please save my soul and seal my mind. Cause this work so cold and keep me near so I can't see clear. Only you I hear, cause only you I fear.
Heal me, seal me, and kill the ill me. Cook and reel me, and bring forth real me. No matter what you deal me, my spirit is willing. In the sea of lies that the world calls life, I'm swimming against the current and I'm going against the flow. I'm sober and I'm vigilant, I'm meek and I'm low. I'm humbly clothed, cause in this world it get cold. And I'm holding my peace until he tell me to go. Let's get blood of a dynasty, a heart of a chief. And I'm only taking orders from the Most High King. It's only him I fear. You can never paint a vision if you never draw near. You can never be near if you don't close that distance. Your mind just listen. Precept on precept to catch what you're missing.
I pray to you, please save my soul and seal my mind. Cause this world's so cold and keep me there so I can't see clear. Only you I hear, cause only you I fear. I pray to you, please save my soul and seal my mind. Cause this world's so cold and keep me near so I can't see clear. Only you I hear, cause only you I fear. I pray to you, please save my soul and seal my mind. Cause this world's so cold and keep me near so I can't see clear. Only you I hear, cause only you I fear. I pray to you, please save my soul.
Yeah. This world is only full of few. 2nd Ezra 8:1. The Most High made this world for the sake of me. The world to come is for the sake of a few. Yeah.
The next one is only full of you, and I wanna be there, be there. The kind of people expressions you know is very rare, it's very rare. The next one is only full of you, and I wanna be there, I wanna be there. Only a few that's gonna be saved when you separate the wheat from the tail. People playing Russian roulette, but you find that they don't feel you, dog. They wanna play with this word, they don't even hear, they don't even hear. But I wanna be in that world to come, where there's peace, where there's joy, and a whole lot of love. And when you open up paradise, I wanna taste the tree of life. I wanna be with all the righteous souls that chose to do right. The next one is only full of you, and I
got it. Think you gonna make it to the next world?
I hope so. Next world.
Yeah, me too.
So that, why is gonna give you something to say? The next world.
A lot of people don't want to keep folks out of the back.
Next world.
They want to deal with wickedness versus doing good.
Obama, next world.
What we all did.
Next world is on the come. 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 Everybody knows, make it. And I wanna be there. The kind of people that you precious to go. It's very rare. It's very rare. The next one is only for you. And I wanna be there. I wanna be there. Only a few that's gonna
Matthew 17, 37, 43. He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of this world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burnt in the fire, so shall it be at the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them that do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who has ears to hear, let him hear.
Ye are of the Most High, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world.
Just let it shine, just let it shine in your temple. Just let it shine, just let it shine in you. Just let it shine, just let it shine in your temple. Just let it shine, just let it shine in you. This one is a distraction to keep you from getting back to the Father. Your shot can't free you. He'll guide you back, he'll guide you back, he'll guide you back to a higher if you're willing to let him in, and praise the vanity. They wanna rule your temple and cause you to stumble. Doing wickedness and not to evil. Kick the demons out of your world. Kick them out. You shine your rain. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Yeah. Just let it shine, just let it shine in your temple. Just let it shine, just let it shine in you. Just let it shine, just let it shine in your temple. Just let it shine, just let it shine in your kingdom is inside you. And that's how you want to dwell inside of you. Inside of you, I know when you shine your too. Go on and fast and cleanse your spirit, and go and meditate on the Father. This is what you have to do. If you want to shine to live in you, this is what is not real. We get blinded by this illusion and the principality. They know exactly what they're doing. They get shine in. Start rocking to a new spiritual level. Seeking now and get them demons out of your temple. Hey, just let me shine, just let me shine in your temple. Just let me shine, just let me shine in you. Just let me shine, just let me shine in your temple. Just let me shine, just let me shine in you.
Let Christ alone into your world. Let him bring to nothing all power that have come upon you. Let him into the temple that is within you, that he might throw out all the merchants. Let him dwell in your inner temple, and you become for him a priest and a Levite, entering into purity. Blessed are you, old soul, find this one in your temple. Blessed are you still more than you perform this service. whatever defiles the Most High's temple, the Most High will destroy.
Just let me shine, just let the sun
Stop making things so complicated.
Just let me shine, just let the sun 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 Just let me shine, just let the sun
What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye are not your own? Let your shine live in your temple. Let them dwell in you. Let them demons out. Send them principalities running. Cleanse your spirit. Let him live in you.
Chick, my Shalom Cop, Shalom is your brother Prime. You tuned in to the Lion's Den. I'm your Wanathon. I'm in Brooklyn Lane. I'm a higher edition. Warriors in Christ. Work don't stop till the casket drop. Riding till the wheels fall off. Stand up, Joshua. Let's get it. We don't know what you crazy, but we scream in the eye. We don't know what you say, but I say how's the shot. We was green, but it's rocky, no we stand and stop. We can beat to the top, no we stand and stop. What's time for a high and two time for a while. We support the words in Christ for 3 times for the shot we break. Say the name in church, 4 times for the fight, yeah. 4 times for the fight. Why would we pay attention to you and you not this? Why would we need your entertainment and we got this? You said you would wake us up, bring me shaker for a sheet. Why you still falling in the crap that gave us in my sleep? I don't know it's why me. Every time you try me, I'ma swing the sword at you. You gon' need the IV. We don't even recognize it. Let us see some eyes. We keep us sleeping while the flow and do this work nicely. All praises be to the Most High. It's not me. Just a vessel for the Father. He the one supplying it. Every thought our minds think. Visions that our eyes see. Ain't no more the credit. You they do this out the country. But the sun higher than the power that's behind you. Shining like the diamond in the sky so the blind can see. We saw a focus look and they told you another story and you ate it. He had to send us to annihilate it. No was the name of that hitting is static. Put it on the jacket. We gon' try it in the fire. Watch it burn back ashes. Every knee shall bow. Drop down. Let us bless. We gon' keep stop stuttering. Every tongue shall confess. Every tongue shall confess. Every tongue shall confess. You gon' stop one, but every tongue shall confess. Every tongue shall confess. Every tongue shall confess. We gon' keep stop stuttering. Every mouth shall address. Shall go. Happy every moment that my eyes away. Go. As we get into the what said. Everybody talking about their side away. We they can't get home without the Father Savior. We look to the station, singing, exercise your patience. Put it on the treadmill, exercise your patience. You get left to take it, so we shall be free. Operation wake them up while people sleep. They ain't eating in the game, but that's the proper thing. Spin it with the second entrance to the
And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy.
I'm just a son.
And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy.
Must be a mistake. You got a precept for that?
Job 2:28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. And she back. Everybody tell her she back. The daughter of Zion back. Tell her she back. Oh, tell her that she was back. Everybody tell her she back. Tell her she back. Everybody tell her she back. The daughter of Zion back. Tell her she back. Tell her that she was back. Yeah, everybody tell her she back. Yeah, she was this.
Should've known you wasn't finished. 1-6, she was a bitch, she ain't broken. These churches so deceitful, false teachers, robbing people blind, but not for long. 'Cause when God's shot comes, they gon' be like, it's brother, and he's skipping, holding hands, while singing the song. Your destruction. Like the Misty, whoa, baby, like these prophesied mixed with words like brother, pass that butter in the hand, please. And you can miss me with that hit song. Go ask that phone, teacher, third call, excuse me, Mr. Teacher, I would not let you apply. That was it on our backs, they put payment on our ground. So look like the comments down, and we about to shut it down. Cause we back, we waking up now, and now y'all mad, but we are following the most high, that's a fact.
Blah, blah, blah. What you talking about? Been sitting for an hour now, what's scripture flowing out your mouth? What you preach? Bringing a second death to these drop bombs like a fire with that drag on. Actually, I'm not alive, no. Preach your plan, match maker. Don't stay into your final destination. Let your blind next to the lake with several man. Cut it out, and turn that station, Start flipping through these papers, no money, but what's gonna talk in B-I-B-L-E? Ain't talking no philosophy, can't make it to the kingdom with your rendition. And a quick bit like Robert Rap, new edition, new age gospel. I ain't trying to hear it, opening up my eyes, tuning out the vibe, truth will set you free. Spiritual emancipation, he will be our proclamation. So yeah, tell them we back, come to claim our spot, yeah, we need that.
Crooked, dirty, leave a preacher. You sound like another bad teacher. You getting up, we don't need you. Take your lesson, we don't need it, you don't need it. Now beat one. Get out of here. One. The good Jews that woke up. And nobody said one.
Okay, alright, we in the 6th round. I got my sisters with me, so you know what's going down. She was rendition, we knocking down your religion. Straight slaying these preachers with every word that we spitting. I knock them out the box so that they pass the preaching out of socks. Sweating bullets, he full of it. Got you shucking, jotting in a circle. We ain't read no script though. And he got you caught up in this. Oh yes, I got you all up in your emotions and not the word. Got you milked out with the ties, trying to get a third round. Yeah, you feeling good, but is you spirit you feel? Is he teaching you commandments and your heritage? And all the law ain't done. That's the lies that they push. Like Brother Bron said. Beware that city man, Lord.
Follow that anymore. We are all saved by the blood of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Hebrews 10:26, which we sin willfully after we receive the knowledge of the truth that remaineth no more sacrifice to sin.
We're coming at them humble. Meek is the word, yeah, it's fighting through these troubles. We ain't got time for these fakers pushing off the way. Who's how you care? We ain't got to hear them say no big guns. They virtuous one mind, sober mind, keepers of the household and children. There's power in silence. They know that we need to take a couple seasons like the mention. It's First Timothy 2:9, all the way to 14. You see the lines before Adam's first form, then Eve. My sister, I think you need to go and read. The war against everything. First Corinthians years, 14 and 40,
I'm a dirty female preacher, so Rachel, you sound like that other bad teacher. You get it up, we don't need you, we don't need you. Tell your blessing, we don't need you, don't need it.
About my sister's faith, falling out, catching the shakes and going into convulsions. Doing laps around the church, all in the name of violence. No more.
We're walking, talking, acting like we just have. We still think on us to the rest house. Just like skirt. Cause we the only one purple with a short skirt. We're sitting on the beach, fashion with a 33 degrees flip. But you can't believe that you overseas. So many things you say to me. It's coming out your mouth. It sounded like whoa. That's all we're hearing. And you ain't seeing clearing. And it's okay, my fault with the board to be your picture. Too ignorant to celebrate and listen. Or pick the Bible up to learn your own true traditions. But why is what you really missing? You try to name us instead of trying to get your fame up. To be a follower and China is the only way to come up and be successful. Instead of leaning on your own nerves and thinking like, well, that's what I gotta be.
Everything of this world strictly on the scriptures. The lyrics that I spit, strictly on the biblical. Sitting in a few beds crossed with you really on Bible and tongues. Girl, I don't get you saying no. Can't finish how to press, slap me now. Bump your dogs, only the scriptures. Love to hit up, from doing wrong. Itching for the service to end so you can turn up smoking with your brother friends. Claiming to be full of the Holy Spirit. All I see is Jezebel. Don't want to be nowhere near it. Need to repent. To be watched up, the sins your body is temple. Far from being simple. A love than you will rock you like a comforter. Snuggle up under her. Let her warm you up in the ways of the world. You a laughing mother. All praises to a higher to lift your spirits up.
When you get put through the fire, it separates truth from the lies. You're fake and front when you back the way you wood meets iron. Your doctor may be on point, but it's your motives I question. Y'all get put through the fire, but that's how one makes a weapon. In the book I'm dissecting, inwardly reflecting the spirits I've been trying. So it's you I reject. They ask peace, why you going in on the deck? The higher say, Paul, that's your honor, so we don't need no laughing. No, now a little bit, a higher ventriloquist. Put the key in my back, this word does sound like I'm saying. The people I'm relating, got replaying it. Was a demon, shite got the straight slaying in blood. Even the bars beat the judge. The right to sound like argument to others against the judge. Truth, bringing the fire to the roof in hard bars. Now this music ain't secular. I'm just taking it back. Care less about your vernacular words. I can take it back. Righteous, upright, well respected. No Democrat or Republican, but may be elected. Keep on the campaign. Ain't looking for votes. You gotta stick to the book. It's on the father's growth. Ridicule like but them is people though, they say they do it for peace, but they doing evil though. And when you talk to the people that super, just know the stone. I get that no super, hey, short for David. Yeah, he make music but put in work at those straight shots like David. Desire, please save me. I ain't got the strength, they do it for right before I do it in pain. Turn down strongholds, calling out the liars and they coming together to shut me up like Jeremiah. Instead of testifying, instead of testifying, and fine wine, the metal. That's what it sounds like, you feel me? It sounds like it's hot, but beautiful at the same time, you feel me? Real Jordan, you dig? Yeah, just making fine metal out of it, you feel me? You know, refining us like we in a refinery, you dig? And listen to it, hear me? Yeah. We pass through that every day, you dig? We just don't want to get stuck in there, you hear me? So we follow the scriptures, we follow the commandments, we do these works, keep our faith up, you hear me? Because either or, you know what I'm saying? Righteous or wickedness, you feel me, nigga? If truth for life, 100% of faith, Abraham's bosom or waiting the lake, I chose the fire, not to turn the fire to fire, so I have the requirement that's required. Works, faith, and conviction, the path to vocal service on in the face, patience, even with the burner on your waist, turn your cheek and show love, that's what the burner on your waist. Diligence, temperance, kindness to your brother, treat them like yourself, and treat her like your mother. Say, do these things and your team gon' grow. The election will be a people and keep our people motivated, you feel me? Real talk, real Judah, you feel me? I love when Hebrews get together and make classes. This is about edifying the body. Precept on precept, body edification coming soon. Real talk, real spit, real Judah.
All right, so first and foremost, we give all the glory and praise to the Most High, Ahaya, Yeshua, and while walking the Holy Spirit. We want to say thank you for joining us on live stream. We pray that the praise and worship, you enjoyed the praise and worship. We want to say thank you for Ahaya for allowing us to make it on his holy day. All right, so we want to say peace to the 12 tribes that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, from California to New York to Istanbul to Turkey to Greece to Russia to China, wherever you at in the world. To the Gentiles who follow the law, statutes, commandments, so they have the surname of Israel, as we read yesterday. Shalom to you. You should have your King James Bible. We're in lesson 10 of our Hebrew Israelite Awakening lessons. Lesson 10. Even though we had 2 introduction lessons, technically this would be lesson number 12. 12 weeks, and we haven't even got to half of what we're going to be learning about wakening up our people. Not only wakening up our people, but wakening up the so-called Gentiles as well. Waking up everybody. That's what these lessons are for. Today's lesson, I thought about today, and it didn't make sense to start teaching on the captivities of Egypt and Assyria and all that without understanding why we went into captivity in the first place. The captivities just didn't come about. There had to be something that was going on that why the captivities happened. So it would behoove us to not just go in and start teaching on Egyptian captivity, which was the first captivity, but we need to understand why we went into captivity. Why did Father do that? And why does he continue? Why is it continually being in captivity even unto this day? So we need to do some research and find out why it is that we are in captivity and what one single event triggered all this. One single event triggered all this captivity.
You know, we talk a lot about the different captivities, but we never truly pinpoint what was the one thing that, because we was not in captivity. Have we been in captivity? Have our people been in captivity longer than 400 years before?
Yes, we were.
There was one captivity I remember.
Thousands of years.
Yeah.
Yes, we have been in captivity. We've been in captivity since that very first event. And we're going to pinpoint the very first event that triggered all these captivities that are going on. Right? We're going to show that very first event later. We need to understand why we're in captivity. So, you should have your King James Bible, your Apocrypha. You should have your pen and paper. All right? So before we get to our captivity lesson, the introduction to our captivity, Purim, is 19th and the 20th. Both days we have a Holy Convocation in the evening at 7 p.m. Passover is March 8th and the 9th. Okay, the Spring Holy Day, March 8th and 9th. We know that's the Friday into the Saturday. Feast of Unleavened Bread starts March 10th through the 17th. That is a double Shabbat. Okay? So before we get into all the captivity lessons, captivity about Egypt, the captivities in Judges, the Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian, could you please keep the babies down, because I'm not going to be yelling. The Babylonian captivity, Persian, Greece, Rome. Before we can get into all those captivities, we need to examine and see why these things happened in the first place. We need to look to see why did we get put into captivity in the first place. It's obvious that the children of Israel were and are a disobedient people. Israel is very disobedient. And Israel will not hearken unto the voice of the Most High. The 12 tribes have always turned their back on the Most High and Yeshua. Always. And we wonder why we're in such disobedience. We wonder why we're in captivity. And then we have the nerve to say, well, we're going to be out of it soon. No. You're not going to be out of it because of the fact that you were rebellious. And we're going to see how many times the Father had to tell us, stop doing it. How many times? And because of our rebellion, we will not see Israel again. We will not be in our homeland again. I don't care how many people say, yeah, we're going to go back to Israel and all that other madness that's going on the internet. We will not see Israel again. We will not, unfortunately, we won't. So we have to deal with that. We're going to be in captivity, the Bible says, forever. Forever. When we get to the wilderness, technically you're still in captivity. You're still in captivity. You're not out of captivity until you're in the New Jerusalem. Because obviously there won't be any captivity in the New Jerusalem. But you're not going to be out of captivity in the wilderness. You're not going to be out of captivity in the 1,000-year reign. Because he said, if you do not hearken unto my voice and obey, you will be in captivity forever. We're still going to be on this earth during the wilderness. We're still going to be on this earth during the 1,000-year reign. So that would lead us to believe that in order to be out of the captivity, you got to make it to the New Jerusalem. Let's get Isaiah 58:1. So that's why it is our duty to lift up our voices to our people and to the house of Jacob and show them the transgression and sin. Isaiah 58:1. If you have questions, feel free to put your questions on the chat. If you have comments, feel free to put your comments on the chat. Iron sharpens iron, right? Let's read.
Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sin.
You know what I saw today? Going a little off topic. I saw today, I was, going through our channel, checking on the teachings and everything. And I guess on YouTube, you know how it has something for you or favorite for you or something like that, right? And there was this video of this pastor, this pretty well-known pastor who knows he's an Israelite, right? Knows that Messiah is not white, knows his name, well, he calls his name Jesus. I don't know if he knows that or not. But there was a Muslim in the crowd. And this Muslim, he called, you know, he was like, the Muslim was sitting there, yeah, I want to debate with you. So then this pastor is sitting up there, yeah, come on up, we can debate. And guess what they were going to debate? Pork. The pastor was going to uphold pork. The Muslim was coming to denounce what he was saying about pork. The Muslim was coming to say, hey, you can't, you teaching these scriptures about pork. The Most High said you can't eat pork. I was too through. This same pastor going around slapping Jesus, right? Slapping the image of Jesus.
Oh.
Right? That same pastor going around talking about Beyonce and talking about TV snakes, right? This same guy who calls himself an Israelite was defending eating pork. And this Muslim, and let me tell you something, this Muslim, he was right. There was a couple of things that he was off on, but he's not in the Bible. Okay, he was off on Paul, and he was off on a few things, but he's not in the Bible, so I'm not counting that against him. But this Muslim was talking about, wait, you cannot eat pork. That is sad. That is sad, and a lot of people follow this guy. That is sad. Because my Bible clearly states, or our Bible, the King James Bible clearly states, in Leviticus, the 11th chapter, and in other places, that you shall not eat pork. You shall not eat swine. It's an abomination unto you. So we did a teaching, maybe about 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago, about the dietary law. And the same scriptures that this pastor was using to defend eating pork is the same scriptures that we show that these Christian or whatever pastors they are going to use these same scriptures to say that that eating swine is defended. And we showed that with those same scriptures that he was using, that the Most High was not talking about unclean things. You have to be very careful on whom you are listening to on the internet. We may not have everything, but let me tell you something. What I do know about this ministry is that we are going to go with "Thus saith the Lord." We're not going to go to the populace and say, you know what? Yeah, this certain group they like to hear this type of message. Or that certain group like to hear that type of message. So I want to appease people. We're not here to appease people. I'm not here to teach to make your ears feel good. We're not here to do that. We're here to bring "Thus saith the Lord." And "Thus saith the Lord" is all that we're going to bring. That's it. We're going to bring what the Bible says, not the opinion of Elder, not the opinion of Abra, not the opinion of Pastor James, not the opinion of Elder Rick, not the opinion of anybody out there. That's why somebody teaching we have like 15, 20 views. But it's all good, right? It's all good. All right, so let's get into the disobedience of Israel after we have said all that, right? Isaiah 1. Isaiah 1, 3 and 4. Israel was disobedient. And we're going to show why Israel was put into captivity. And then we're going to give a little precursor to next week's lesson, the Egyptian captivity. But before we do that, we're going to see and we're going to show the one event that triggered all these thousands of years of captivity. And guess what? You got, I think, 8 of the 10 tribes to thank for it. 9. Yeah, you got about 9 of the 12 tribes to thank for it. All right, Isaiah 1, starting in verse 3.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
Don't even consider. Verse 4.
A sinful nation. A people laden with iniquity. A seed of evildoers. Children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards.
They are gone away backwards. Right? So a lot of these scriptures are not going to be uplifting. Well, they'll be uplifting in a different way. Consider that to think carefully about, or to consider means to think carefully about, or think really hard about a decision and low down. Iniquity is sin. So those scriptures are saying that these people are full of sin. They're evil. They're corrupt. Right? Let's go Jeremiah 9. Jeremiah 9 and 3. All right, let's read that.
Jeremiah chapter 9 verse 3. And they bend their tongues like their bow for lies. But they are not valiant for the truth.
They are not valiant for the truth. Go ahead.
Upon the earth. For they proceed from evil to evil, and they know not me, saith the Lord.
They proceed from evil to evil. Skip down to verse 6. And let's read verse 6. Verse 6.
Verse 6. Thy habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they refuse to know me, saith the Lord.
See that? They bend their tongues like bows for lies. They are not valiant for the truth. They're not valiant for the truth. Evil to evil, they know me not. They refuse to know me. Their habitation is in the midst of deceit. We're just touching the surface on why Israel was placed into so many captivities for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Right? Let's go, we're going to go to Isaiah 57. Isaiah 57. So we have iniquity, we have lies, we have them not being valiant, we have them being deceitful. Isaiah 57, and we're going to read verses 3 and 4. Isaiah 57, and we're going to read verses 3 and 4. All right, let's read it.
Isaiah chapter 57, verse 3. But draw near hither, ye sons of the sorceress, the seed of the adulterer and the whore. Against whom do ye sport yourselves? Against whom make ye a wide mouth, and draw out the tongue? Are ye not children of transgression, a seed of falsehood?
That's pretty harsh, right? You sons of sorcerers, you're the seed of the adulterer and the whore. So Israel is puffed up because you get these people on the street corner and they're preaching and they're puffing themselves up being Israel and saying that their fathers chosen. Apparently they didn't go through some of these scriptures that we're going to go through today. Now, I'm not downplaying being Israel. I'm not doing any of that. But I'm showing you why we are in captivity for life. Why? For life on this earthly planet. Why that captivity is going to be forever. This is what Yeshaya feels. This is what Yeshaya has seen, and this is how Israel has acted. The children of Israel don't know the Most High, and they don't even think about that. Look at people today. The children are of wicked parents, and the evil is the example that they'll follow. They corrupt themselves. They corrupt themselves by their own counsel, by their own example. They have gone backwards away from the Father instead of going in the right direction and serving Him in truth and righteousness and being a light to the Gentiles. They are destroying. Israel is destroying themselves. Israel is destroying themselves. And it's a shame because get Hosea 4, 6, and 7. It's a shame because they don't even know that they're destroying themselves. They don't even know that they're destroying themselves. Hosea 4, 6, and 7, and let's precept that in Exodus 3 and 10. Just in case you want to know that, well, the Most High is not talking about Israel when He talks about people in Hosea 4 and 6. Right? They don't know. Let's read Hosea 4, 6, and 7.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
This is why you're in captivity. Come on.
That thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
Verse 7.
As they were increased, so they sinned against me.
As He increased them, they sinned against Him. Think of what He did outside the Exodus. Think of what He did at the Red Sea. Think of what He did to 180,000 Assyrians. Think of what He did. And as those events increased Israel, we transgressed. Finish the verse.
Therefore will I change their glory into shame.
There you go. I will change their glory into shame. So when people are sitting on the corners and doing whatever, or on YouTube, and they're saying, oh, praise, I'm Israel and everybody else going to hell. Well, I'm Israel, salvation is only for the Israelites. Ignorance, ignorance, ignorance. And when I see people on YouTube saying that salvation is only for Israel, or the Israelites are only blacks, woefully ignorant are these people.
I think a lot of people, they quote, what is that, John 4:22, that the salvation is only for the Jews.
Yeah, but
it's
understand.
a lot more understanding than what that's just saying.
Right, you have to really look into what the scriptures are saying. First of all, Jews shouldn't even be there.
Exactly.
So you have to look at what the scripture is saying, right?
And if you have a Gentile who's following the law, statutes, and commandments, what is he? What are they?
Exactly. We read that yesterday. They have the surname of Israel. Isaiah 5:13. Yeah, get Exodus 3:10. Because when it says that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, it says my people, right? The people are the 12 tribes. So let's prove that. Exodus 3:10.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 10. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel,
My people, the children of Israel. See? Come on.
out of Egypt.
So there you go. My people, the children of Israel. Right? Let's go Isaiah 5:13 to see my people again. We caused this captivity. It wasn't the so-called white man. A lot of people are angry because the so-called white man has made us into captivity. No, it was you, Israel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. We're going to show and pinpoint that there was a couple of tribes who really set this thing off on our captivity.
When we were growing up, did you have a bad feeling or dislike towards Caucasian, so-called Caucasian people,
No,
white people?
no, but I know my mother did.
Well, and okay, so you didn't feel that way, but did you hear it?
Oh, I heard it.
Because growing up, I always heard in a Judah family that it was the white man who kept us down.
Mm-hmm.
White people can't let you have it.
White devils.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mother would say that all the time. I work with white devils. I'm with the white devils. These white devils trying to do this. These white devils trying to do that. And I'm like, so there's white beings around where you work at? And it wasn't until later on where I realized, oh, she's talking about people. I'm thinking she's actually talking about devils, because back then I thought that the devil was somebody who had a pitchfork with a tail and horns on his head. So I'm thinking, oh, they must be white too then. It wasn't until, and I was like in first or second grade. It wasn't until later that I realized that, oh, she was talking about white people. Or so-called white people, because they're not even white. Right? But we caused this captivity ourselves. Whenever we go through something, it's because we did it ourselves. It wasn't because of other people. Every time that you get chastised, it's because you did something. It's not, you can't, well, they did. No, it's you. Let's read Isaiah 5:13.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
And I wouldn't call T.D. Jakes an honorable man, because he was standing on stage pretending like he was giving birth.
Oh, please don't.
Remember that video? You seen that video?
He like blowing.
T.D. Jakes, sweating, bald head.
And this is some kind of lady, a hype lady, I guess. In the
Right. This is what Christianity is.
It's foolish. It was so foolish. Was that the same time
when the cross-dresser gave him $1 million?
Yeah. And he
Yes, the Tyler Perry cross-dresser. Transsexual or transvestite or whatever you want to call it. That's what Tyler Perry is. That's what Tyler Perry is, a cross-dresser. And you Judah, you sit there and you watch his movies. Why are you watching a movie about a movie maker who is a cross-dresser? Point blank and simple. My people are ignorant. They have no knowledge. That's why you're in captivity. Oh, we're going to get it today. It says that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Notice he keeps saying my people, my nation, you Israel. We read that Israel is my nation in Exodus 3:10. Get Daniel 9. We have been cut off from the Most High because we lack knowledge of the Most High. We lack knowledge of the power of Israel, who saved our forefathers out of Egypt in the first place. We've lost all communication and knowledge about the Most High from that. That's why children today, and that's why people today appear lost. Jails being built, jail after jail after jail. Housing who? The so-called blacks, so-called Latinos. That's who they're housing. Why? Because the Most High has been forgotten by his children.
Well, the jail is a business, so private owners have jails built, and when they house people, they take out bonds on you, and those bonds make money while you're in jail.
But the jails wouldn't be filled if we didn't forget the Most High.
That's right.
They wouldn't have a business if we didn't forget the Most High.
That's right.
Daniel 9:13-14. We have forgotten the law of the Most High, which he gave to our forefathers. In the Christian church, they even preach that you don't even have to keep the law. They'll try to mix it like that pastor I was talking about earlier. He teaches on the law, but he also says that you can eat pork. Liar, liar, liar. Daniel 9:13. Read.
Daniel chapter 9, verse 13.
Come on.
As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil has come upon us, yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our power.
We didn't even pray. By the time Daniel came, we were in captivity so many times. Still refused to pray. Keep going.
That we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth.
Come on.
Therefore hath the Lord watched upon the evil and brought it upon us.
Who brought it upon us?
The Lord watched upon the evil and brought it upon us.
The Lord watched upon evil. I think you read that scripture wrong. Because that scripture should say, therefore the white man.
Therefore hath the Lord.
Well, therefore the China man.
The Lord.
Therefore the Ishmael man.
Therefore hath the Lord.
See, I think it's a typo on the scripture. Because the Lord couldn't have possibly brought this on to us. We've been hearing all our life that it's the so-called white man.
And Jesus loved everybody.
Shia brought this upon us.
Yes, he did.
Finish the verse.
For the Lord our power is righteous in all his works which he doeth. For we obey not his voice.
We obeyed not his voice. Oh, we got a lot of scriptures today about obeying not his voice. Right? As a nation, all this evil came upon us. So the so-called Negroes were put on cargo ships and shipped to the Americas, hung on trees, right? During the captivity, women being raped, children being fed to alligators and crocodiles.
Children was raped too.
And let me tell you something, Latinos, because don't think that we were never shipped. That shows your ignorance as well. Because you were shipped in ships. You went from Mexico, the most fertile place on the planet. You had it, and you lost it. Why? Because you fell off. You fell off worse than Israel, than the Negroes did. Human sacrifices, eating hearts and all that other madness. So you fell off. So the Spaniards were allowed to come over, take you captive, and reduce the tribe of Issachar down to 1 million. But you want to know why? Oh, we got why. We're going to show you why. So you all proud? Oh, I'm Issachar. Understand where you came from also. Because you were in a part of the captivities that are going on today. So was Judah. So was a few tribes. Naphtali. The Japanese were able to come over and go through the South Seas like a knife and butter. Why was that? Because there was a one incident that everybody is going to pay for. One incident. And we're going to show it. Well, the Bible is going to, the book of Joshua is going to show it. Right? Native Americans. You so-called Native Americans. Right? You're so gone. You're so gone that they put you on reservations and you uphold, most of you uphold these reservations like they're the New Jerusalem. You sit up there. It is so wrong for you as Gadites to worship and do anything on Thanksgiving, knowing that that turkey represents you.
Well, we knew a brother, he's a Gadite, and we told him.
Hosea 4.
And he still celebrated.
He still celebrated Thanksgiving.
And
he told him, brother, you know that that's about the slaughter and killing of your people?
And he had a couple of turkeys. He invited people to his house, and he lived on a reservation. And he went around on a reservation giving out turkeys as well.
Ignorance.
After we told him.
Yep. Ignorance. Hosea 4, 1 and 2. So then you have the so-called Native Americans, the so-called Latinos, who have been slaughtered for their land. Pure evil is what happened to us as a people. But guess what? We don't pray, we don't acknowledge the Most High in anything that we do. So he continues to turn away from us and our sin. And we just keep on sinning. And when we are brought forth with the truth, we totally ignore it. Hosea 4, 1 and 2. Read it.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 1.
Yep.
Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
He has a controversy with the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Read.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
There's no truth. Forget mercy. No knowledge. The knowledge of the Most High is decorating your house on December 25th. The knowledge of the Most High is dancing in church. I saw a quick snippet of a video, and they were line dancing in church. Line dancing, or what is that, cha-cha slide thing.
Yeah.
In church. And the pastors, yeah, we do that. We line dance to worldly music. It's okay. God appreciates it.
You remember we saw that video a couple of weeks ago? It was a Judah pastor. He was like, oh, the oldies but goodies. And he started playing Michael Jackson Thriller.
Right.
And they got up and started doing the moves.
They started doing the moves of Thriller.
But those were zombies.
Right? Ignorance. Verse 2.
By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood touches blood.
We're going to explain what blood touch blood means. But ain't that what's happening now? Swearing. So if swearing, if Father does not, if the Cheyenne doesn't like swearing, why are Israelites swearing?
Well, let me tell you what they say. So swearing, they would say, oh, that's the Most High said, don't swear. If you swear, they don't connect that with cursing and cussing. So they said, the Bible said not to curse anyone. So that means like you're saying something like, you saying a curse over somebody. They said the Bible tells us not to say cuss words.
Let's get the Strong's Concordance for swearing.
I'm telling you, I have seen
know.
brothers debate over this.
Yeah, and they also say that, they also use the scripture in 2 Chronicles when Elisha cussed the children because they were calling him baldhead.
Yeah.
And they said that it's okay to cuss,
Yeah.
right? But that's not what Elisha did. Smart ones. Let's go to Hosea 4:2. Strong Concordance, swearing. What does that mean?
Swearing. Strong's number H422. Descriptions. To swear, curse.
What?
To swear, curse.
What?
To swear, curse.
Say it again.
To swear, curse.
Come on.
To swear, take an oath before the Most High. To curse.
Say what?
To curse.
No, you reading that wrong.
To curse.
To curse. Come on.
To put under oath. Adjure. To put under a curse. Properly to adjure, usually in a bad sense. Imprecate, adjure, curse, swear.
Okay. Israelites should not be cursing.
Say bad words.
Bad words.
Yeah.
The D word, the B word. Unless you're referencing a female dog, which normally we don't use that word. It's funny. When we're talking about a female dog, we don't say the B word. Right? We don't say the B word then. No, is your dog a male or a female? It's female. Oh, that's a good B, right? We don't never say that, do we?
Because that is even out of term. That don't even make sense.
Well, that's what the name means.
The B word is actually a spirit. It's the B
Well,
word.
if you want to look at the spiritual, but I'm
itching on
looking
the
at it
end.
as far
And
as,
it's how someone acts, always keeping up chaos and.
I'm looking at it on a strong, in the Webster's dictionary, and that's what it says, the definition is. So that's what that's called.
Like, who is Webster? He ain't.
Right. Micah 6:2. But what I'm saying is that we can't be doing that. We can't be swearing and cussing. We can't be lying. We can't be killing each other. We can't be stealing. We can't be committing adultery. Blood touch blood, that just means that people killing people.
Someone says they do so because they have anger in their heart and want to focus it on a group of people to blame for our own wickedness against the Most High.
Exactly. They want to put the blame on the white man. But have we read a scripture yet that Esau is to blame for this? Or, because that's what they call the white man anyway. But have we read a scripture, one scripture, that says somebody else was to blame for this? Well, we got a few more to go. Maybe we'll find one.
No,
right?
but there is a scripture that says that they didn't have to do us like this.
That's different.
They didn't have to take it that far.
That's different.
But no, the Most High, it's not a scripture that I know that the Most High is blaming them for our captivity.
Maybe it is one. Maybe I'm just being me. Micah 6:2 and then Jeremiah 4:22. And let's read.
Micah chapter 6, verse 2. Hear ye, O mountains, the Lord's controversy, and ye strong foundations of the earth. For the Lord hath a controversy with his people, and he will plead with Israel.
He will plead with Israel. He has a controversy against you. His controversy is that you don't know him. And you're not even looking to know him. You're not looking to get understanding. You're not looking to get knowledge. You're looking to see what it is that you can get from it. And let me tell you something. A lot of the times he ain't giving you nothing. But somebody is giving you something on a temporary basis.
But what if you have sought out the Lord and you thought you did know him?
You thought you did.
Well, you thinking you know him, but then a situation come about and you don't know him. Oh, I just got it, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Because you know you knew him, but something happened where you got in your flesh, you turned from what you thought you knew of him.
Correct, because your flesh took over.
Right, but you did know him, you do know him. You just went to the left, you went to the left. That person went to the left. Because you did know the Most High. But you, like the person on the chat just said, you got angry, so you stopped blaming somebody else for something, and you went from the ways of the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Jeremiah 4:22.
Oh man, I just counseled myself. I'm gonna pay myself. No, I'm just kidding.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
For my people is foolish.
Uh-huh.
They have not known me.
Mm-hmm.
They are sottish children,
Mm-hmm.
and they have none understanding.
Mm-hmm.
They are wise to do evil,
You can always, finish the verse.
but to do good they have no knowledge.
You can get a person who schemes and everything like that. Wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. Easy to do evil. Notice that the Most High says, hear the word of the Most High, the children of Israel. The Most High is not talking to everybody or every nation, is he? He's talking to you 12 tribes. And he keeps saying, my people. Exodus 3:10, we showed my people are the children of Israel. Right? So he keeps saying, my people. The Most High has a controversy with his people because there's no truth in them. There's no truth in you, Israel. Remember, you were destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You have no mercy. Our people have become heartless. This is not the knowledge of the Most High. Then it goes to say that by swearing, cursing, killing, stealing, blood against blood, that means killing one another has multiplied. Let's see something else that's an attribute to Israel. Go to Zechariah 7, and we're going to read 11. Zechariah 7 and 11. Let's see another attribute of Israel.
This may be a little bit off the topic, but I want to say that I saw a video where this pastor, Judah pastor, was preaching, and he was cursing. He was saying all kinds of bad words.
Mm-hmm.
But he was belittling the women, and he was saying how the women, you think you're something, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how they dress.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, but you look like you got 5 miles of bad road on your belly.
Mm.
So he was talking about women that have given birth, and how our bodies change and go through some things. And I was so disgusted because you had women in the congregation,
Mm-hmm.
and they was amen this mess. Nobody stood up and said, wait a minute, pastor, elder, shepherd, this is not what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
He was not edifying the body. If something is going on like that, he should have went to where the Apostle Paul talked about, modest apparel.
Mm-hmm.
He should have had something on the side to teach me. Then where's the elderly women? Where's the mothers in the church that sat back and let this so-called pastor say this?
Everybody said amen.
To the women, and nobody was offended. Like people was cheering that stuff on.
Because they worship the pastor.
They was laughing and clapping, and I'm like, I know the women in that church have had children. Our bodies don't go back. First of all, Isaiah 3:16, our girdle was taken. So it's a curse on us because, haughtiness. But that's going back to saying people. Nobody is holding people accountable, even to the brothers that's out on the street. And I saw this one pastor said, How can you teach the truth without saying curse words? So if you can't stand him saying curse words, get off his channel. And I'm like, really?
Well, left turn.
But it's not okay. That is not okay. And nobody is holding nobody accountable for these things. They're not. People are laughing and going along with it.
Well,
But do you know that kind of talk could have caused somebody to went home and commit suicide? He could have been the cause of somebody killing themselves.
we would have to think of that. Let's read the verse.
Zechariah chapter 7, verse 7. Should ye not hear the words which the Lord...
Zechariah chapter 7, verse 11.
Oh, verse 11. Selected. Used to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear.
See that? Stop their ears. Read verse 12.
Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law, and the words which the Lord of hosts hath sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts.
See that? They refused to hearken. Pulled away the shoulders, stopped their ears.
Yeah, it's a process. Keep being disobedient, even until today. We just don't learn. Israel loves the world. But I will say this, the heathens have took the things too far. Zechariah 1:15.
Yeah, they've taken things too far, but guess what? You're still the cause of it. I don't care what they did.
We are the cause of it.
We are the cause of it. Israel is the cause of it. If they took it too far, oh well.
Because
they wouldn't have had an opportunity to take it far if you were holding the law, statutes, and commandments.
we never would have opened that door of sin.
We opened the door. We opened the door for all this. So because we opened up the door, you can't, well, they did it more worse than what they were supposed to. If you would have hearkened unto the Lord thy power the way you're supposed to, then it wouldn't have happened. Let's stay in Zechariah and let's read verses 13 and 14. The whole 13 and 14 for a second. Right? So they stopped their ears, refused to listen. Their hearts are adamant stone, meaning that they weren't going to be moved by anything you say. They don't fear the Most High. You know what? We did a teaching on the fear of the Most High. We did that teaching 3 years ago. It's a beautiful, I know it's long. It's about 4.5 hours. But we did 4.5 hours on why you should fear the Most High. And you know how many views is on that teaching? 60. 60. At one point, I'm shocked because at one point it was still in the teens. 60. Nobody wants to hear about the fear of the Most High. Nobody wants to hear about, and when we say fear, we mean respect. That's what it really means, right? So refuse to express a determination not to do something, to decline it. That's what refuse means, right? Adamant means hard. It's too hard to cut or break. So in today's society, getting people to understand the truth, it's almost impossible. It's nearly impossible. When somebody tries to present truth to our people, I'm not even talking about the Gentiles, but to our people alone, the 12 tribes. When we try to talk about the cargo ships, right? Mention it in the Bible. People immediately cut you off and turn their shoulders, shut off their ears, walk the other way. How many times have we been street preaching and we try to tell people who they are and they just keep going? Or they get insulted and say, I'm African American.
And you ask them how is that, they can prove it.
That's why it goes to say they made their hearts an adamant stone, meaning hard in their hearts. They refuse to hear his laws, they refuse to hear his words, which is sent by his spirit to the prophets. This is why our people are at the bottom. We got Zechariah 7:13, 14. Let's read that.
Zechariah chapter 7, verse 13. Therefore it has come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, saith the Lord of hosts.
See that? He sent this prophet. The prophet cried, they would not hear. So when these people start praying to the Father because something has happened, he did not hear. Interesting, huh? 14.
But I scattered them with a whirlwind.
Nope. Typo. The white man scattered them with the whirlwind.
But I scattered them with a whirlwind.
The people who did them harshly, they didn't have to do it, scattered them.
But I scattered them with a whirlwind.
Go ahead.
Among all the nations, whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate.
We were in a very good spot in Israel. 3 rivers running through Palestine. We messed it up. Let's go back. Read Jeremiah 4:22 again. Let's hear that again. Let's hear Jeremiah 4:22 again. And then Romans 1:22 is going to be next.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
Do good, they have no knowledge. Foolish means to be silly, be unwise, folly, or stupid, ridiculous, absurd. That's what foolish means. You're not even worthy. That's what foolish means. Weak-minded. That's what foolish means. Or simpleton. This is what Father is saying. Right? Precept that. Romans 1:22. What does it say?
Romans chapter 1, verse 22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
That pastor who sat there and was defending pork against a Muslim, who this Muslim was saying that you should not eat pork, professing themselves to be wise, he looked like a fool.
Oh,
He looked like a fool. Let's get Romans 16:19. What you got?
there is a concept. Another thing I see, elder, or should I say soon to be again, grandpa elder. I even see all these Israelite camps making rap videos about the Most High, but they are cursing in the song, swearing, wearing grills, and their mouths still be worldly. I thought we are supposed to die to our old selves.
Wait a minute. Hold up. There's Israelite groups doing rap videos with grills in their mouth.
And they cursing.
Really?
They cursing, yeah.
Who?
Yeah, woman.
Who?
We're not gonna say no names. No, we're not going to.
No. Who? What?
That one song that I used to listen to.
Well, tell me off camera.
They don't curse in that video.
No, but they have girls. Oh, yeah, they do curse. They do.
What?
They curse. They got their crip walking. Yeah, they do.
Let me know off camera, right? I did not know that. That shows I'm out of the loop.
Well, he did say, again, grandpa elder, LOL.
That's all right.
All praises.
Sure.
We still being fruitful and multiplying over here.
Look at him there. All right, let me get back to the word. Romans 16:19. What do we got?
Romans chapter 16, verse 19. For your obedience is come abroad unto all men. I am glad, therefore, on your behalf. But yet I would have you wise unto that which is good and simple concerning evil.
See, that's what Paul said. Your obedience, you have to be obedient. But Paul is saying that, you know, you have to be wise too. Right? You have to be smart. Let's get 1 Corinthians 14 and 20. The scripture says, my people are foolish. If you look around in any state, the so-called Negroes or the Latinos, they're foolish. And then it goes on to say they have not known me. Right? We don't know the Most High. We think we know him. We think that we would know him in what is so-called Christianity. But they don't even know him. The pastors, whatever little information they give you, it's a lie. They mislead people. And let me say something about Christian pastors. There's two types. One mislead people intentionally, the other mislead people in ignorance. But those are the only two types. All of them. They either mislead people intentionally or in ignorance. And we've seen both. Intentionally and in ignorance. Oh, and ignorance is something else. Intentionally, okay, you can look at that, all right, I see what you're doing, you know, you're not that slick. But ignorance, there's a ton of it.
Yeah, because they go hard. Like, they think they really feel like they know what they're talking about. So they go in hard with it.
So it's old rap in the 90s by Bushwick Bill, talking loud, saying nothing.
Look how they look at Stop it! They don't even know who that is. When's he a midget? Oh,
You can't say midget.
Oh,
You just offended probably, I don't know how many people
sorry.
is watching on it. I should have called us a midget.
look, ARW trying to get, I'm going to change something out for me. He trying to get something started. He said, how do you say, wait. How do you put the name out there so, and if they are embarrassed, they need to be embarrassed. It's time to.
Who is it? People with grills, who is it?
That was AOI, the bank on
AOI, oh, yeah, that thing.
It was a lot of other ones too.
Yeah?
That's before they signed it.
Well, you know what? They're gonna get this, they're gonna, never mind.
That's what you're trying to deal with.
Right.
Gad Issachar said, Elder, the pastors who are ignorant, will they be condemned as well because
Yes.
they're leading the flock?
Yes, there's scriptures, the Most High has very strict, there is very stringent when it comes to teachers. And in Revelation, there's a scripture that says that teachers are going to be held double accountable for what they do. That's why you shouldn't want to jump and be a teacher. Because if you bring anything false, you're going to be held double accountable.
You
The
know,
punishment's going to be double.
We had an incident when we were street
Did I give you the
preaching
scriptures? 1
with
Corinthians 14? Okay, we'll get it in a second.
Pastor Yellow Shirt. And it's on Shabbat, we street preaching. And he said he knows that he should not be working on the Shabbat. But he said that, but the Most High knows he got a family to take care of.
Yeah, I think we got that on recording.
Yeah, but people and I was like, I told him, I said, well, you're gonna be held accountable for that because you're leading your flock to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And people came against that video so hard because I was speaking. Shepherd allowed me to speak, okay? And people came against that because I was actually speaking in the video. We had to disable the comments.
We don't have to do say, well, that's
We're not
ignorant.
dealing with that foolishness, so why deal with that?
Well, because maybe you feel some kind of way.
Okay. It ain't feel kind of way because
All right, I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
but I don't,
People say stuff on that Issachar teaching, right?
oh man, we get it all the
We
time.
get it all the time on that Issachar teaching.
Yes.
They blast me a new one all the time. I think that's the most common one we got.
Wait, maybe the Ephraim one? That's
Not
one?
really the Ephraim one, but
It's a common.
the Issachar one, that's the most common teaching that we got. And they are giving me all kinds of stuff. But, it's like, okay, that, another one that's ignorant. Another one that's ignorant.
But it's a car who's cursing us out.
Yeah, it's Issachar who's cussing us
It's
out.
saying that's not them.
Amazing. All right, our people must understand that you will never build a spiritual relationship with the Most High if you don't understand the Most High. Then the Bible continues to say that you're sottish. Notice I keep saying you're sottish. We're
I'm
sottish,
understanding.
right? We're sottish children. Our family, Uncle Bill, he gets stupid drunk. Have you ever heard said that? Uncle gets stupid drunk, or they get stupid drunk. That's our people. That's sottish. We go into clubs and just get drunk. I mean, everybody in their family got an alcoholic. At least one. Judah, you have a quota of 2 minimum that you have to have in your family. Everybody can point to 2 people in their family that are drunks. Bible is telling you against that. Read 1 Corinthians 14 and 20. I don't think you read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 20.
Yep.
Brethren, be not children in understanding. Howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men.
Okay, these teachings, these Bible studies are not for children. They're not. They're for people who want to grow in the Most High. If you don't want to grow in the Most High, then there's other groups that will appease your intellect. If you do want to grow in the Most High, then this is what we do. But if you don't want to grow, if you want to stay stagnant, if you want to be an infant all your life and wear grills on your mouth and dance like some kind of sambo, then there's other teachings, there's other groups that you can watch. But here, we are edifying, we are getting education. Why is that? Because you can dance the sambo in hell.
Oh my goodness.
You can dance the sambo in the lake of fire. I think I want to be dancing the righteous dance in the New Jerusalem. That's what I think I want to be. I don't want to have grills and burning in hell or grills in the lake of fire.
Yeah, one of those groups look like they have a bottle of alcohol in it.
Probably. Because they teach that teaching that it's okay to drink.
As long as you
Why?
don't get drunk.
As long as you don't get drunk. We're going to go to Jeremiah 7.
That Issachar said, elder be honest. He said us Issachar try to have about at least a minimum of 7 drunks.
That's just racist.
Well, what is this word here?
Oh, I can't see that.
He said 7 drunks. Oh, what's a baracho? That's sad. It's
I don't know what a maracho is.
He said baracho, not moracho.
I'm not fluent in. Oh, okay. I'm not fluent in Spanish. I apologize for that. That's all I got you. Jeremiah 7. We're going to read verses 23 to 28. And we're gonna break this down.
Yeah, it's a car needs to come on with his tribe and move to New York so we can have a Spanish channel going on.
Oh, he said it was.
What?
Yeah, he needs to come on so we can have a Spanish thing going on for the people that don't speak English.
Yeah, we need a Spanish, we need a lesson, we need teachings done in Spanish so we can hit the Latino group and we'll record in Spanish.
Spanish
You know
as
what?
well. I'll put that out there, Gary. I'm prophesying now. I'm prophesying for Gary Issachar's family.
All right, Jeremiah 7, 23 to 28. We're going to break this down because this is kind of important. Jeremiah 7, 23 to 28. All right, let's get it.
Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 23.
And hold your Bibles here because we're going to be in and out of Jeremiah 7 for a little bit. Read.
But this thing commanded I them, saying, Obey my voice, and I will be your power, and ye shall be my people. And walk ye in all the ways that I have commanded you, that it may be well unto you.
Ain't that good? Now, I know we need the NIV and the ESV to interpret what is said in Jeremiah 7:23 because it's so hard, but that seems kind of easy. Obey my voice, I will be your power, you will be my people. Do you know how many times he said this in the Bible? I will be your power and you shall be my people. There are so many scriptures. In fact, we can do a teaching on just that part. Right? Read verse 24.
But they hearken not.
Ain't that a sound? They hearken not. Go ahead.
Nor incline their ear, but walked in the counsels and the imagination of their evil heart, and went backward and not forward.
Went backward, not forward. 24? I'm sorry, 25.
Since the day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt, unto this day I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily, rising up early and sending them.
He sent out since the land of Egypt. Right? That's our lesson for next week. Egypt. 26.
Yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ear, but hardened their neck. They did worse than their fathers.
So Israel, even though our fathers did some bad stuff, Israel now, today, is doing worse. Doing worse. Our forefathers set the standard. Oh, they did. But Israel, they're just, it's like when you were a child and you sin, your parents sin, right? You take it a step above it. What about hanging? Oh, yeah, because my knee, so I'm massaging my knee. And sometimes when I get talking to you, do that. Right? If you don't want somebody real, oh, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, the power of Israel, rise against Jacob. As you continue with the scripture. Probably want to go someplace else, because that's not me.
Jude said she hopes, she said, I hope so. My mother only speaks Spanish, and it's hard for her to watch.
See that?
And
it's a card. And
YouTube doesn't translate it.
No, they don't. And when you go to the closed caption thing, it has us saying all kinds of stuff.
And
so
guess
see
what?
that?
He hasn't even responded. He's signing. He's so talkative all the time. But when I made that comment about him moving to New York and doing a Spanish translation of the teaching, it's nothing. We heard nothing from him or his wife. They just quiet over there.
Okay.
That's all right. You can't hide from the Holy Spirit, though.
No. Verse. Yes, 27, go ahead.
Therefore thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken to thee. Thou shalt also call unto them, but they will not answer thee.
I know the feeling. 28.
But thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of the Lord their power, nor receiveth correction. Truth is perished, and it is cut off from their mouth.
See, that's the problem. So we're going to continue to put that word out there, but they will not hearken, they will not listen, you will call, they will not answer. Scripture says in verse 28, but thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice. So a lot of our teachings are not warm and fuzzy and all we love. I think the last one we did was a Song of Solomon. So they come very far in between. Why is that? Because who cares about love if you are not respecting the Father? That's first. You can't love somebody you don't respect. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can love somebody that you don't respect.
No,
It's called Munchausen syndrome.
or lust.
All right. Read Jeremiah 7 and 23 again, please.
Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 23. But this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your power, and ye shall be my people, and walk ye in all the ways that I have commanded you, that it may be well unto you.
Let's get some precepts. Let's go Exodus 15 and 26. Leviticus 26 and 3. Leviticus 26 and 12. Deuteronomy 6 and 3. That's Exodus 15, 26. Leviticus 26 and 3. Leviticus 26 and 12. Deuteronomy 6 and 3. Let's get some precepts to what we just read in Jeremiah. Sorry.
Oh, I'm not
Let's read.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 26.
Bring it.
And said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy power, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee.
All right, so see, there you go. If we hearken and give ear to his commandment, he didn't even say ears, right? He said ear, one ear to his commandment. None of these diseases are put upon you. So therefore, there can't be somebody who says, well, they didn't have to do us that way. They didn't have to treat us so bad.
the screen was frozen, but the audio is still going. How to fix it?
Let's read Leviticus 26 and 3. Maybe they'll unbuckle itself or something.
There is a concept. Come on, Elder. You should know by now. Due to in my family, some want Mexican curse. So Americanized. I speak broken Spanish. LOL. But if the Lord wants me to speak another European language, I will learn. It to wake up my people. Oh, he said because of Mexican curse. He said he speaks broken Spanish. Oh my
Wow,
goodness.
okay, I've never heard of that before.
But the screen is frozen, but you can hear the audio.
All right, we'll go for a few more minutes.
And see what
And
happens.
see what happens. Okay. Leviticus 26:3.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 3. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them.
If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments, these curses will not be on you. Skip down to verse 12.
And I will walk among you and will be your power, and ye shall be my people.
How many times does he say that? You really should see how many times that he says that in the Bible itself. Mostly in the Old Testament. Right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 6:3. And then after Deuteronomy 6:3, we're going to go Jeremiah 11:4 and Jeremiah 11:7. Deuteronomy 6:3.
I think this is better than
All right, before we get Deuteronomy 6:3, we're going to restart. We let the people on the chat know. We're going to restart the teaching. So just come back, because we got a lot of information to go through. Let's restart it. When is this off like that? Should we use Wi-Fi?
No, it was a thing that went out yesterday where it was the internet